What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Criterion Corner. This is a segment on my channel where I watch a film either in the Criterion collection or that's streaming on the Criterion channel, recommend it to you guys or give you my opinion on it. And this is a film that has been on my watch list for a while. And the reason why it's been on my watch list for a while is it stars the great Jack Nicholson. And I love Jack Nicholson, especially in his prime in the 70s and the 80s. He was just one of the best of the best. And I really love watching his early work, and this is a movie that has been on my list to watch for a while, and the film I'm going to be discussing today is 5 Easy Pieces. 5 Easy Pieces is directed by Bob Rafelson. A dropout from upper-class America picks up work along the way on oil rigs when his life isn't spent in a squalid succession of bars, motels, and other points of interest. So, didn't really know what to expect with this movie. I really hadn't even read a plot synopsis of this before I watched it. I just knew Jack Nicholson was in it, knew that this was in the prime era of his career, and I really liked this movie a lot. I think as far as these types of films that I discuss enjoying frequently, the slice of life movie where you're just kind of examining a character and their surroundings and their very specific set of circumstances and kind of getting an understanding as to why they've gotten to this point in their life. I love those types of movies, and I feel like 5 Easy Pieces falls along those lines perfectly. So 5 Easy Pieces stars Jack Nicholson as Robert Dupea, who lives at home with his girlfriend, Rayette DePesto, played by Karen Black, and the two of them, you can see their relationship isn't perfect. They're kind of in it sometimes, they're out of it sometimes. Jack Nicholson's character is kind of a jerk. He's really just... He treats her pretty poorly. He's not all there. You can tell that he's not really content with where his life is. And because of the fact that he's not content and he feels like an outsider, he typically acts out. And he works at this oil rig with his buddy. The two of them go out a lot with his girlfriend. And most of the early parts of the film are the two couples spending time together. And we kind of see Jack Nicholson's character. He's got a goofy sense of humor. He can also be incredibly mean-spirited and awful. And at a point during the film, he ends up going to visit his sister, who we find out in the film is a pianist, and most of Jack Nicholson's family is very musically inclined, including himself. And we find out that his dad is sick and that his sister begs him to come home and visit his dad. And we find out that Jack Nicholson, outside of this life that he's currently living, where he's living in this home, he's living a life where he's going out and working with his hands all day long. He's working a very physically demanding job. And then we see the other part of his life, which is that he was raised in a family that had a lot of money, and he's musically inclined. He's incredibly intelligent. And so most of the film is examining that dichotomy in this character, where they were raised in a very different environment than the environment that they chose to live in. And Jack Nicholson's character is kind of split in himself, where you can tell he wants no part of that lifestyle, that like he loves music when he plays. There's this really incredible sequence where they're in a traffic jam on a major highway, him and his buddy going to work, and there's a truck in front of him, and Robert gets out and he's like freaking out. And the truck in front of him has a piano on the back of it, and he jumps up there and starts playing the piano on the back of the truck. And you can tell that he gets a lot of joy out of music, but the whole element of what his life was, he wants no part of it. And you can see when he goes to visit his father, the relationship that he has with his siblings and with the people that are kind of in that environment are the complete opposite of what he wants, but he's also embarrassed by his new lifestyle. His girlfriend Rayette wants to come visit his father with him. He lets her drive up with him, but he doesn't let her go into the house. He makes her stay at this motel so that she can't be seen because she's very Southern belle. She speaks very differently than the people he was raised around. And so he's at that split in himself, and he just doesn't feel like he belongs in either one of these worlds. And I think that's a situation that we can all kind of put ourselves in at some point in our lives, where we're just at a point where we don't really know what we want or how to get there. And I thought the movie did a really nice job conveying that in a very beautiful way, of just like being lost and not knowing what's best for yourself or where you belong. And a lot of that comes from Jack Nicholson's incredible performance. So much of his performance in this film is less through the dialogue and more through his facial expressions and his bodily movements. He really did live this character, and you can just feel it in every single scene. And that's what I appreciated so much about the movie, is just his dedication to the character and to the specific scenes. performance and how he approaches the dialogue, or how he approaches his relationship with his character, because when it comes to his relationship with Rayette, he has moments that he's very sweet with her. He has moments that he's very verbally abusive and mean towards her. When he's around his sister, he's much more soft-spoken. He's a little bit more jokey with his brother, but it's almost like two different people. And you can tell in his head that he doesn't want it to be that way. He doesn't want to live as two different people, but he doesn't really know how to do it otherwise. And I thought that was a really fascinating way to approach a specific character, and I really loved that about the movie. All the other performances in it are really great. Everyone that showed up, I thought, did a really fantastic job. I thought the cinematography was really nice. You have a few very specific settings that the film takes place in, but it really immerses you into that world. It becomes kind of a road trip movie at one point, where Jack Nicholson's character picks up these two people on the side of the road, and they start having a lot of these existential conversations about humanity and about consumerism and about the way human beings live. And I thought that was a really interesting element to add into the film. That conversation was really unique, and I enjoyed that part of the movie. I do think there are elements of it that drag a little bit, and I think that it has some time where it struggles to find its footing, but I think overall the conclusion of the film is incredibly satisfying, and I think Jack Nicholson's performance alone makes the entire movie worth watching. It's just so captivating, and it takes a very specific director and actor to convey a performance of an incredibly unlikable individual at a lot of moments, to where you can truly still feel for their character, and despite all of their glaring flaws, you can understand them as a person. And I think it takes a very talented director-actor duo to do that, and the two of them in this film really do accomplish that well. And I look forward to revisiting this one again sometime in the future. So have you seen Five Easy Pieces? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was fantastic. I really enjoyed it a lot. I thought it had great performances, really great cinematography. It was very immersive. It had a great story, and I really look forward to revisiting it again. As always, if you like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.